All right. I'm glad you stopped by. So this one is important. I found something very startling and concerning. I've got a mouse nest on the top of my engine, way back in there. You can't even see. I don't know. Can you see that? I mean, it's way back on top of the engine. It's back about 2 or 3 feet. This is what I found right here. It was a mouse turd this morning. So then I looked up here in my air filter to see, well, maybe he's living in there. No signs of it in there. And then I started really inspecting, and it's a big nest back there. I don't know how long it's been there. I'm looking at wiring. I don't see any chewing on the wiring. Not having any electrical issues yet. So this is what can happen. Even I put my light under here every night and my hood up. He's living over there somewhere, and he's coming over here and he's building a nest and living in my engine bay. See if I can see any better from this side. No, I'm not going to be able to get to it from this side. But I've got a tool I think I can reach in there and pull that nest out with. But it's at least 2 feet back in there. That's why it's been so hard to see. I just haven't seen it. I check every couple of weeks. But it looks like it's been there for a while. Let's go get my tool out, and maybe I'll get to video it live when I get the mouse nest out with this reacher. And there's another stick I've got. Yeah, it's about that far back up in there. So that reacher's about 2 feet long. And then with my arm length, I should be able to kind of maneuver through all the different parts and get back there to it, grab it, try to pull the whole thing out at once, but it may break apart. All right, so here goes nothing. It looks like it's so much stuff there. I'm surprised it hasn't started a fire. Just so much debris there on top of the engine. This is really bad. Holy cow. I got it. Look at this mess. Oh my goodness. I'm so lucky that I haven't had any problems with the van, any electrical issues. Because that looks like he's been there for a while, making himself a nice little bed. That's not all of it. Part of it broke away. I've still got to dig down in there and get the rest of it. I'm so glad I had this reacher. I would have never been able to get to it with just that stick or my arm. So it looks like there's still a few pine cones down in there, and looks like some kind of tissue, and the rest is just straw and other stuff. My gosh. So glad I found this thing. Now I missed it. Only got one little string on there this time. All right, let me dig around. Trying to keep the camera focused while I focus on there's a little piece. I don't know if I'll be able to get all of it. There we go. Getting it. More tissue and more straw. Little by little, here's another clump. There's one of the pine cones. Seems like there's one more down in there. This is, oh my gosh. This is not what I was expecting. Try this stick. See if I can kind of get on the edge of that pine cone and kind of flip it out. This is not going to work. I might have to go in from underneath this radiator reservoir from the other side, maybe. Get the old trusty reacher back out. It's my best tool. I'm so glad I have this thing. I've been carrying it around for years and didn't know why. Now I know why. Get yourself a reacher. As I'm pulling all this nest out, I'm looking at the contents, and here's what I'm trying to determine how old it is. Well, it's got pieces of pine cones in it and straw, so I think this nest started when I was up in Flagstaff, because there's a lot of pines up there. There's no pine cones here in the desert. So I'm thinking I probably lost that mouse somewhere on the road a long time ago, and then last night another mouse comes through and says, hey, look at this. There's a nest already here made for me. So he was probably getting ready to move in. Then he dropped a turd on my grill. So that's what alerted me to start inspecting things, and that's how I found it. So I just sprayed some of this mouse repellent around. This is Grandpa Gus's. This is some stuff that Amanda had with her, and she uses it in her engine bay. So I'm give it a few sprays, and I'm going to end up picking up a bottle of this for myself. And it just smells like peppermint, but they say it works. Still got a few sticks left down in there. It's going to be hard to get to. And but we got the big part out. But so far, I feel like I may have dodged a big bullet. I mean, even though that nest looks like it's been there for a long time, I'm really shocked that none of the wires have been chewed on. It looks like the mouse just wanted the engine for the heat to get warm. Wasn't really interested in the wiring. But I'm making this video to show you all this talk we do about mice getting in your van when you're camping. It's a real thing. And this is my first encounter with a mouse nest or any mice that I've noticed. So we're just going to stick with the informative style videos. I've been on a kick all week, and I thought this would just be a way to wrap up a week of information videos about how-to van life and what to look out for. So I hope you found it helpful. So I'm going to continue digging around and trying to get every little particle out, and maybe give another spray of that mouse repellent, and chalk it up as a big learning experience. All right, my friends, until next time, take care, be well, and smash the bell.